Yes, so good morning, students. So I think in our previous session, we started with what we call it as local search. And maybe at the end of the session, we discussed well also what exactly is the local search and how exactly it is advantageous when it is when we talk about its memory consumption as compared to the uninformed and informed searches. And at the end of the session, we talk about something which is known as hill climbing search. And I think we also saw a demonstration on how this hill climbing search basically helps to solve the n queen problem. So now what we saw yesterday was that it will actually try to figure it out a state which is good in terms of heuristic, and if it is in good in terms of heuristic as compared to the previous state, it will take that state as the new state, or what it can do is it will just stick to the current state. So that's what we saw about n queen problem, and we saw that how hill climbing search basically can help us to the n queen problem. Also yesterday we discussed a lot about why there is so much importance given to searching, why the state space is playing a big role. So why state space and after state space searching are actually the two major components when we talk about any AI agent. So fine. So from let's say we as we have already seen all the uninformed search algorithms till now and the working of all the uninformed search, and also we have discussed what are the advantages, what are the limitations, how things are progressing, or we can say actually we saw an evolution of search, that how we started with uninformed search techniques wherein we actually go or scan through the all state space, and then from there how we actually migrated to bidirectional search, and then from there how we actually migrated to uniform cost search, and then from there we started to a star search, which is where the concept of heuristics came. And then finally we are at local search, wherein we are not at all looking at to the entire state space, rather than we are just concerned with the very next state, which is so now as we reach over here, as we reach to somewhere which is local search, we can see that definitely these kind of searching technique is going to be very very helpful, because that's what exactly we also do. So now if we have seen that how yesterday the problem was solved, so see basically there are two things. Okay, either you directly jump to a state using some uninformed search technique, and when we have been to informed search technique, then to in informed search technique you consider maybe all the options from that current state, keep on evaluating all those options, and you select which is having, we can say, the less value of evaluation function. So over there still we are considering multiple options which are coming from a particular state, or we can say in other words, if we talk about graph, we are actually considering all the nodes which are coming from the parent node. But now how local search is going to differ is, so whatever algorithms now we are going to see, whether it is hill climbing, we are going to see variations in hill climbing also, and some more algorithms also, they are belonging onto a category of what we call it as local search. So now what is the concept over here is that, so it simply tells you that you will be on a particular state, the agent will be on a particular state, and there are of course lot many options available, but it is just randomly going to pick up another state which is nearby to it. So of course which is nearby to it, which means the cost involved to jump to that state should be as less as possible. After going to that state, it has to just decide whether this state is better than the current state of mine or not. So how it will be decided? So there will be heuristics values attached. Okay. So let's say if we talk about n queen problem, in the current state, let's say four queens, three queens are in attacking state. And if the next state that you select, in that also three queens are in attacking state, so it does not make any sense to jump to that state. Then you figure it out another random state, and then you see what you see again over here. Again three queens are in attacking state. Then you again figure it out another state. So you go on in doing this, and then might be you come to a state in which from 3 queens, only 2 queens now are in attacking mode. So what you have done is you keep on selecting different states, and then you come up with a state which is having, we can say, a better heuristic value. So when we say better heuristic value, we're trying to say less heuristic value, and we can say good objective function. And then if you find something like that, then yes, then you decide to jump to that state and then mark that state as a current state. So you have progressed yourself. And that the same process goes on and on until and unless. So if we talk about a 4 queen problem, we are going to do this process until all our 4 queens are not in attacking position. So that is the basic idea behind the local search. So it is an n queen problem, but if it is some another problem also, it is going to work in the same way. So there are certain problems like traveling salesman problem, wherein basically we want to say that in a minimal number of time, how all the cities are traversed. So one idea is you actually decide the path from the beginning itself, consider the start node, and maybe find out the path. So the whole idea of searching will be either on uninformed and informed, or maybe a mixture of it. So that is one approach. Okay, what this hill climbing or the local search will try to tell you is that rather than doing that, we just find out a state, or we just move to a place which is better than this. And how we can find out in a traveling salesman problem, if we have moved ahead in terms of location wise from our current position, then definitely it is going to help us. But yeah, so as I just told you that when we talk about n queen problem, so it might happen that you are in a state wherein 3 queens are in attacking position, and probably if you take random jumps to another states, somewhere or the other you are still in the same scenario where 3 queens are in attacking situation. Or I can say that maybe you are in a place where the heuristic values are almost remaining the same. At times it may also happen that you randomly select a state and the heuristic value can decline also, which means you tend to come to a state which is not better also. So every time it is the comparison is needed, and this process may go on and on and on until and unless we don't find a state which is better than this. But definitely this is going to save a lot amount of memory. So if we talk about, if we keep time aside and if we think about memory, then definitely it is going to save a lot amount of memory, because your requirement is basically to keep 2 states as of now stored, maybe the current state and the next random state that you are selecting, and just compare them. Okay, and maybe remove the current state as soon as you find a state which is better than it, and place it in the place of the current state. So that is where is going to be the biggest advantage when you talk about local search. But yeah, there are certain limitations attached to it also. So yeah, today's discussion, we are going to talk about the very first local search algorithm, or we can say the simplest local search algorithm, that is hill climbing. So probably what all basics that we have understood in local search, you will find the same scenario today also, but we'll emphasize more on now what exactly this hill climbing algorithm wants to say. So yeah, today we are going to discuss about hill climbing search, state space with respect to local search. See now, students, at this point we are quite well aware about what is state space. But if I again tell you that state space is nothing, but if you're talking about a problem, okay, the problem could be, let's say, or if you talk about a particular domain. So let's say if you're talking about tic-tac-toe or n queen problem or chessboard, or let's say traveling problem. So when you are considering each and every possibilities of different states of that problem, all the set of those possibilities is nothing but we can call it a state space, or probably it will be the universal set, because it will have all the possibilities inside it. Okay, we're going to talk about regions of state space. So I think yesterday we also in previous session we also did a discussion about our state space regions when we talked about local search. So today we'll again see about it. We're going to see which are the types of hill climbing search available, and our today's focus will be on simple hill climbing. Okay, so with this we start. So as we now already know, Hill climbing algorithm is a local search algorithm which continuously moves in direction of increasing value to find the peak of mountain or best solution to the problem. Okay, so as of now, if you don't consider peak of mountain, because probably that word we may be able to understand as soon as we see that graph of our state space, which we already have seen. If you remember the terminology, we have talked about something like landscape, and you know how we consider landscape when we actually discuss local search. Okay, so that's where when we want to try to say peak of mountain, which means we are trying to tell that basically we are moving to a state which is the best state, and maybe somewhere exactly very nearer to the goal state. So what is the purpose of hill climbing algorithm? Of course it is a local search algorithm, and because it is a local search algorithm, it is the path is not relevant to hill climbing. Also storing all the successors in the memory is not relevant. Okay, so these are the features of local search, and all the algorithms which are going to be part of what we call it as local search, they are going to have this feature definitely. Now it terminates when it reaches a peak value where no neighbor has a higher value. So now this is very important point, is that that basically now when it finds out a place, so where it will terminate. Okay, so of course one termination can be possible as soon as if it figures it out a state which is equivalent to the goal state. So that is one scenario. The second scenario is that if let's say it comes to a place and continuously after so many selection of the random states after that, if it is not able to find out a state which is better than the current state, then probably it will terminate. So there will be of course some saturation point to that search, or the saturation point to that comparison, that maybe it will compare, you know, like let's say 10 number of times or 20 number of times or 30 number of times. And if every time the outcome of the state that it gets is not better than the current state, then probably it has to terminate, thinking that this is the only best state possible. So what we could see over here is that there are chances maybe that the hill climbing can be in a position wherein we may not exactly be able to find the goal state also. Okay, so but the purpose of hill climbing basically will be to find out a state which is better than the current one. So hill climbing is a technique which is used for optimizing the mathematical problems. One of the widely discussed examples is the traveling salesman problem, in which we need to minimize the distance traveled by the salesman, and of course the n-pin problem that we discussed yesterday. Okay, so now what exactly will happen in hill climbing? A node of hill climbing algorithm has two components, the state and the value. Okay, so as we just discussed, there will be state and there will be maybe some heuristic value attached with it. Hill climbing is mostly used when good heuristic is available. So this, I think we discussed at the time when we started discussing about heuristics. When we started discussing about heuristics, what we discussed is that now all the algorithms which we are going to see from henceforth, or maybe all the searching techniques that we are going to see henceforth, will definitely make use of heuristics, because with the concept of heuristics we actually understood how what we can say, we can narrow down our state space for searching, how we can relevantly search our state space, or how we can faster search our state space, how we can avoid some paths which probably are not going to help us to reach towards the goal state, which all was there in uninformed search. But as soon as we understood about heuristics, as soon as we understood that after so many working of AI agent for n number of times, these state space which were not having initially any other value except the state. So initially when we talked about uninformed search, there were only the states available into the state space. But now when you talk about heuristic, you also have the values which are associated with these states, which just actually tells you that how good or bad this state is in the process to reach towards the goal state. So that's where the hill climbing is also belonging, because if of course it has to jump to a random state and it has to select whether that state is better or not, in that case it should know something about that state. So of course if it knows heuristic, then it will become very easy for hill climbing to take a decision whether the random state which it has chosen is better than the current state or not. In these algorithm, we did not need to maintain and handle the search tree or graph, as it keeps a single current state. So that is the basic difference, students, in local search, or maybe in all the algorithms of the local search that we're going to see, is that mostly in all the algorithms before we have seen is that we maintain a search tree, and that search tree will contain basically a path which is starting from our initial node and all the mediator nodes in between, and maybe the search path will end at the goal node. So that will not be the case over here, and that's why when we talk about local search, we just say that path will be actually irrelevant when we talk about local search. It is also called greedy local search, as it only looks to its good integer neighbor state and not beyond that. So hill climbing algorithms are also known as greedy search algorithms, or basically I can say greedy local search algorithms. So if let's say we are about to discuss greedy local search, then it's nothing but we are talking about hill climbing algorithm only. Fine. So now what are the features of this hill climbing? So hill climbing is the variant of generate and test method. Okay, so what exactly then generate and test method is? The generate and test method produce feedback which helps to decide which direction to move in the search space. So generate and test is what we can tell is another kind of a technique which actually helps to understand that in which direction in the space we want to move. And hill climbing somewhere or the other is somewhat behaving the same way. It actually at every step just tells us that which state we have to select into the search space and move ahead, and follows a greedy approach. So it moves in the direction which optimizes the cost. So what we have seen that there are basically two features. It has to keep on optimizing the cost and move to a state which is best in the heuristic value also. No backtracking. It does not backtrack the search space, as it does not remember the previous states. So this is again very important as compared to all the search mechanisms that we have seen before. Okay, so if we talk about depth first search, or if we talk about any other maybe uninformed or informed searches, if we want to backtrack, there was a possibility, because there was a list or there was a data structure maintained wherein we were storing the search paths. But that is not the case over here, students. Okay, we do not store the paths, and that's why the backtracking feature will not be available. Fine. Now we're talking about the state space, the discussion which we already did yesterday. The state space landscape is a graphical representation of hill climbing algorithm. So basically this state space is going to these representation is going to remain the same for all local search algorithms. And it shows a graph between the various states of algorithm, or we can say the various states of the state space, and the objective function or cost. On y-axis we have the function which can be objective function or the cost function, and on x-axis we'll have the state space. Okay, if the function of y-axis is objective function, then the goal is to find a global maximum and local maximum. Okay, so that's what we discussed in our previous session, that if the y-axis is going to consider the function, then basically the approach of the algorithm, or the approach of the local search, or the approach of the hill climbing should be able to find a state which is at a maxima level. So which means a state which is having a good value of objective function. Whereas if your y-axis start representing cost, the concept becomes vice versa. In that case, we want to find a state which is having the minimum value. So yeah, probably this is the same graph that we have seen in our previous session, and what we see is our x-axis actually represent all the states which are there a part of a state space, and our y-axis represents the objective function. So either this y-axis can be an objective function, students, or it could be cost. So now if y-axis represents the objective function, we actually want states which are at maxima level. Okay, but if y-axis starts representing, let's say, time. Okay, so let's say if there are certain scenarios wherein exactly probably the heuristic values will not be there, but the time will be there. So in that case, so if time is there, students, you can imagine that it will be nothing but a very similarity of what we call it as a uniform cost search algorithm. But the only difference would be there that in uniform cost search, the path and all other alternatives would be stored, whereas over here it will simply jump to a state which is very efficient in terms of time. So in that case, we actually want a state wherein we can jump to in if with the least number of cost. Okay, so either this y-axis can represent the objective function, or either this y-axis can represent the cost. And if it represents cost, we want something, we want states which are at a minimal level. And if it start representing objective function, we want states which represents the maximal level. So now, if yes, we discussed that why this landscape. Okay, so landscape, which simply wants to say that there will be many states, and that's what if we try to imagine state space, the state space will exactly be like this. There will be n number of states, okay, into the state space. And definitely you will find certain states. So let's say if either if you choose, so maybe I just give you an analogy that if you are playing a chess game, then maybe let's say you take 5, 6, or 7 number of steps, and after all those 7 number of steps, the situation of the board or the situation of the game actually does not change. Probably it's the same. Okay, so that is one scenario. Second scenario is you took some step, and basically so you have taken a state, and that state has definitely increased your chances of going ahead into the game. And probably there could be some states which we can say exponentially increase your chances to win the game. So that's how these terms, what we call it as shoulder or global maximum or local maximum or flat, are trying to represent us. We are going to understand each of them what they want to say, but the same scenario will be there into the state space, because state space is going to consider, state space is something which is going to tell you about all the possibilities. It is not going to have any differentiation. So while creation of state space, there will not be any differentiation, because we have to consider each and every possibility of that particular problem or of that particular AI agent that we are considering. Okay, but yeah, after the state space is created, once we start evaluating the state space, we can put certain more information to each and every stage, which can basically help us to understand which states are better and which states are not better. But that is for sure that there will be all the possibilities into the state space. It will never be so. If you let's say start creating a state space which is narrowed down itself, then the whole working of AI agent is not going to suffice, because then in that case it will have a very limited search area to search. So that can never be the case, and that should never be the case, because at times you are not aware about that in which kind of environment your AI agent is going to play. So let's say if there is a chess game and the opponent human agent plays the chess game in a different manner, and let's say if you talk about a parallel situation, the same, and let's say chess game is given to another human agent, then probably they both are going to play it in a completely different manner. And if they are going to play in a completely different manner, the search paths which are or the search states which it's going to be evaluated at the first time, and maybe the search states which are going to be evaluated at the second time, may differ also. So that's why it is very important that state space should have each and every possibility. Yes, but definitely after testing, or we can say after testing our state space n number of times, we can definitely put certain additional information to our state space. And that's why whenever we will look at our state space, it will look something like landscape, wherein there will be many states. Some states will be at a better level, some states will be something wherein they all represent or more or less the same scenarios. And some may actually help us to go towards the better states. So that is the idea about what we call it as landscape in case of what we call it as local search or hill climbing search. Fine. Okay. Yeah. So now, what are the regions in the state space, students? So the first region is what we call it as local maximum. Okay. So local maximum, yeah, we can see that state over here. Okay. So now, what is this local maximum? Okay. So of course, the word is local, which means when you traverse to your state spaces, at many places you will find the states which are better than the neighboring states. Okay, how we can come to know that we are on that particular state, and when we are randomly trying to compare each and every state which are coming after us, what we are trying to say, what we find out is that no, the current state is only better. So when you reach a local maximum, mostly your current state will always be better than whatever random states you start selecting. So now there can be two situations over here. You may get stuck up. So let's say in that case, you have to decide that for how many number of times you have to do this before taking a decision. You want to exit, or you exit, we can say, from searching. Okay, so we are going to discuss about it limitations maybe in a session ahead. But when we are trying to visualize this, I wanted to tell you is that when you are at local maxima, basically what happens is that the state feels that it is almost a better state than all of the current state. And what we have seen initially, that if these kind of algorithms are going to terminate in two situations, one situation is that either they find a gold state, or they will terminate in a situation wherein they do not find any state which is better than them. So now when you reach it at a state which is at a local maxima level, what happens is that all the states are having deteriorating value as compared to the state, probably many states. And maybe so let's say this graph, let's say if I extend this graph, and of course global maximum will not be over here, it may be after many local maxima. So, the graph would exactly be something like a local maxima, then a big local maxima, then another big local maxima, and somewhere there will be a global maxima. Okay. So what happens over there is that at times the algorithm can stuck over here if, let's say, the number of possibilities that we have decided for random search after that is limited. And if all of those possibilities we find that no, the current state is only better, then it may terminate telling that this is the goal state, but it may not be the goal state also. Okay, so that is one thing. Now global maxima, so when you talk about global maxima, that if you have reached a position into this landscape which is having the highest value of objective function, and when some state is having the highest value of objective function, it is basically nothing but probably the goal state itself. Now there will be current state. Okay, so current state is nothing but any state, okay, which we are there into this state space. There will be flat local maxima. It is a flat space in the landscape where all neighbor states of the current states have the same value. So let's say if you are somewhere over here, and what you see, the state which is represented over here is having the same value of objective function. Even the next state is having the same value of objective function. The next state is having the same value of objective function. So that is again a trap in the sense, let's say if you start finding n number of states which are having the same value, then in that case you may be stuck up, and probably then you have to decide what to do, because basically as of now backtracking is not there. So that will be again a situation wherein we have to decide what we have to do. Of course the solutions of all of these are existing, but while I'm telling you the features, I'm telling you certain problems also. Okay, and then there will be a shoulder. It is a plateau region which has an uphill edge. Okay, so there will be certain states, and what we see from that those certain states is that if we reach those states, then probably all those states have a have, we can say, a characteristic to go to a state which are at a much higher level. Okay, so that is nothing but what we call it as shoulder. So here when you actually discuss about the regions of the state space, they are just trying to tell you how important the states will be there into your state space, and how these states are going to have certain characteristics of their own self. So there will be many states which will be of the same level. So that will definitely happen. So if today I'll tell you that you please solve an 8 puzzle game, what will happen to many of the students is that they may recursively end up taking some steps which are actually leading them to the same scenario, and then they will actually decide to backtrack. Why they'll decide to backtrack? Because then they'll decide that this move probably I have not taken better, or this move I have not taken better, or this move I have not taken better. So that is going to definitely be a part of a state space. The state, because the state space will have all the possibilities, it will be very it will be always be a possibility that there will be certain states which are definitely going to be better than the another states, but only it is possible to be identified. So you know how it is possible to know that this is a state, the global maxima state, because it is a well tested state. And maybe when let's say the state was tested 1,000 number of times, 10,000 number of times, every time it proved to be the best state. Okay, so of course we can say when it is having a good value of objective function, basically it is having a good heuristic value also. So every state in the state space will definitely have their own identities, but then it will take us some time to give those identities to the states into the state space. And when we give them those identities, what we see is that probably these states will be categorized into something known as global maximum states, or global maximum local maximum states, or global maximum states, or we can say flat states, or we can say states which represent shoulder. Okay, so that is about what we call regions in state space. Now yeah, types of hill climbing. So there are three types of hill climbing which are basically available: simple hill climbing, steepest ascent hill climbing, and stochastic hill climbing. So what all features that we basically discussed right now are the features in all three of them. But the simple hill climbing is the simplest one, which we have understood also and which we are aware of, and it will have certain limitations. And then we'll see how the next hill climbing algorithms try to overcome these kind of limitations, or we can say how they actually improvise the working strategy of simple hill climbing algorithm. Okay. So if we talk about simple hill climbing, then it is the simplest way to implement a hill climbing algorithm, or I can say the simple hill climbing is the simplest local search algorithm. It only evaluates the neighbor state at a time and selects first one which optimizes the current cost as and set it as the current state. Okay, it only checks its successor state and finds the better than the current state and move else be in the same, or and then move else it will be in the same state. Yeah, so that's what we have seen, student. Okay, so basically what it's going to do is it is going to select a state and check whether it is better than the current one or not, maybe in terms of cost or maybe in terms of objective function. If it is in terms of cost, it wants a state which is consuming less cost, and if it is in terms of objective function, basically it needs a state which is better in the objective function. And then simply it's going to decide to move to that state from the current state, or it will be into the same state only. So it has features like less time consuming and less optimal solution, and the solution is not guaranteed because as we just discussed, it may get stuck up as somewhere at the local maxima wherein it is not finding any state which is better than it, and then it decides to terminate. But then in that case probably that may not be the solution true. Now, so what are the steps for hill climbing? So first is evaluate the initial state. If it is the goal state, then return success and stop. Okay, that will be the least possibility that the first state itself is the goal state. Okay, but yeah, of course, every time we keep on checking whether we have reached the goal state or not. Step two is that we have to continuously do the remaining steps until and unless we come to a situation which is our terminating situation. So what we do is select and apply an operator to the current state. So when you talk about applying operator to a current state, you are trying to tell that you are trying to jump from your current state to a new state, and so you apply an operator, which means you apply certain action, and then you find out a state which is nearby to your current state. Once you get that state, so step 4 is check the new state. What you're going to check in the new state that you have got, whether it is goal state. Again, if the new state that you have got is your goal state, then of course you're going to success and then quit. Else, if it is better than the current state, then assign new state as the current state. So next is that the new state that you have just found out is better than the current state. In that case, it is very simple: replace that state with the current state. So now the current state of the algorithm will be, or the current state of searching will be actually the new state that we have just got. Okay, or the third scenario could be the new state is not better than the current state. In that case, we have to stick to the current state, go back, find out another state from the current state and check the same things. Okay, and then so there can be two situations for these algorithm or this searching technique to exit. Either we find out a goal state, or either for many number of times we are not able to find a state which is better than the current state, which indirectly tells us that the current state is better. So in both of the scenarios, these kind of algorithms are going to terminate. Okay, so yes, students, okay, that was there for today. We understood about what is an hill climbing search and how it is also known as what we call it as greedy local search. Okay, and it is one of the local search algorithm. We also understood what is state space, what are the regions of state space, and how each and every region actually gives us certain characteristics and certain information about all the states which are going to be a part of state space. We also understood that what are the types of hill climbing available. So basically there are three types of hill climbing available: simple, steepest extent, and stochastic. Anyways, today we have just focused on simple hill climbing. So now probably we have to understand what are the limitations of this simple hill climbing, and how with another kind of hill climbing techniques which also are local search techniques, we can overcome these limitations. Okay, so yes, students, that was there for today. Thank you all of you.